m'appelle Emre. Je vous voudrais présenter en français, mais pardonnez-moi parce que mon anglais est meilleur. Today I will be talking to you about how we are rethinking about product discovery on mobile. Ooh. There we go. Mobile traffic has been growing in France much faster than it has been growing in the rest of the world and in the rest of Europe. Mobile traffic in France actually took over desktop traffic earlier in 2016, whereas in the rest of the world, that trend only happened towards the end of the year, the Christmas period, and now globally we have more mobile traffic to your site than desktop traffic. And this actually causes a problem, what we call the big small screen problem. Because as your traffic is growing on mobile, that means you are actually getting fewer product views, you are getting fewer conversions, and you're getting less revenue per visitor. This is just by the virtue of those mobile visitors having more page views coming to your site and actually on a mobile device, on average, spending less time. And these numbers might be correct. These numbers might be the new numbers that we're looking into for our future. However, this is a problem when we are spending money to acquire that traffic. When people come to your site and you paid for it and they actually show much lower metrics and leave, that is a problem. And what we call is the big small screen problem. Among all those people who are competing in the small screen, Amazon is a clear winner. They win on price, they win on convenience. When somebody knows what they want to buy, they go to Amazon, type it in, get it for the cheapest price, most likely, and the most convenient delivery overnight or, in some cases, actually during the same day. And then there are mobile discovery platforms. There is Pinterest. Pinterest is using your product images and presenting to people and actually getting them to engage, getting them to potentially show those pictures and make some sort of a connection. However, they are doing this on your expense because that traffic is not on your site. And pretty much when a user is actually on Pinterest, it's a bit of a roulette. People scroll pictures and eventually pick a picture that they like. And lastly, the social commerce hasn't been cracked yet either. There are some beginnings of it, but again, all of this is happening off your site. All of these pictures are on some other platform and you're at their mercy at them discovering you somewhere else and coming to your site. So the one other thing to keep in mind is mobile is a completely different experience and a different state of mind for your users. When a user is on desktop, they are actually engaged with the brand, they're leaning in. They are looking for something, they have mouse, a big screen, and go through it. Whereas on mobile, of course, similar use cases exist, but the mobile traffic growth is actually coming from people between the session, or those of you who find me boring right now are probably scrolling through something else. People who are on the train going home, they are actually leaning back. They are going through an experience where they just want to consume content to see if they like something, and then at that point, they actually choose to lean back in. And this presents an opportunity because now we have much bigger time spent on mobile and people actually are in mode for discovering things, and then once they see something they like, to dive back in. Many of the companies out there try to solve this by taking their website, taking their mobile site and desktop site and putting it on mobile. It causes a problem because what we call the burger and a picture and a half problem. You have a hamburger menu that has all of your categories in there that somebody needs to discover what category they want and deep dive into a product. or there is one common picture that is addressed for the majority of your clients. The majority of the visitors, somebody at this company made a decision, this is the most captivating picture for them. And search only works, again, if somebody's in that lean-in mode. They know what they want to search, find it, and get out. And unfortunately, at Qubit, we've been doing 8 years of personalization, delivering 8 years of different individualization and segmentation tactics to clients. Many of the things we have there don't really work on mobile because people, you cannot detect mouse movements to say, oh, this person is about to close the browser, this person is unengaged right now. With mobile, you cannot say if somebody's looking at the screen or not. And recommendations are traditionally designed for big screens. And so at Qubit, we started thinking about a new way. How can we address this problem? And the number one principle that we use is getting closer to your customers. Getting closer to your customers to understand their needs and what they will engage with. And at Qubit, we come from 8 years of personalization history with a lot of big brands. So we were able to actually take this problem to them and work with them. And as engineers, our mind very quickly went into bots. Last year, this was the flavor of the month. Everybody was talking about conversational commerce. Here's a bot, it will solve everything. Bots are great when you are solving a very specific problem. Bots are great when the answer they need to give back to you is a very specific answer. However, we found bots not to be that engaging. Bots don't, again, address the issue of when somebody's leaning back, it's not going to just come talk to you on its own. And with that in mind, we actually built Aura, our in-context mobile shopping assistant. And it is a complementary product for your mobile website, and it actually is a companion. It learns from everything a user does on the website, and it's actually individualized. So somebody's actions might be different than other person's. So we take a look at what product somebody interacts with, and based on that, start modifying this new mobile discovery flow. And so in this example, you can see two different users. They start from the same page because they just landed on your site. However, if they had any previous history, they would be seeing a different experience. And not only while they're browsing the Aura shopping assistant, as well as your site, we actually start collecting all this data from them. We learn what type of products they might like. We learn what categories they're interested in. And all this information ultimately is linked to your website. When they choose a product, they actually end up back on your site and they can actually complete their purchasing journey. But when they come back, as you see in this example, two different users from that point on have two divergent journeys. So in Aura, we used a lot of our knowledge, a lot of best practices that we have learned in the personalization industry. And we actually now transform a mobile site from what somebody decided what most captivating picture is going to be, and potentially at most is going to get 30–40% of your customers' attention, to a model where you can actually capture 80–90% of your visitors' attention, because now that journey is actually personalized. And this becomes a very important point. Going back to thinking about leaning in and leaning back, when somebody is in a browse, in a discovery mode, every second matters. You need to make sure that you deliver something that will pique their interest so they can actually keep going with their journey. And this is the ultimate fight back towards all those other sites, all those other attention-grabbing sites that are on the internet. With mobile, what I call the disposable browsing time, disposable time to surf the internet has increased. And we need to make sure that every brand and you capture most of that so that you can actually turn those visitors, turn those clicks into loyalty, into purchases. And we use all the known as Aura is a packaged product, we have actually used all the good personalization tactics that we have, personalization features that we have when building Aura. And this has yielded great results. So 3 of our customers presented here, ColourPop, which is a provider, which is a store that sells makeup. Mainly their interest age group is from 20 to 25, you might even say 18 to 25. They have 31% open rate. 31% of their users actually open Aura and interact with it. Diane from Furstenberg, which was one of our very first clients actually testing Aura, have 4.3% uplift in their conversion rates in mobile for those users that actually are engaged with Aura compared to those who are in a control group that just browse the mobile site. And lastly, Mothercare attributed $1.6 million of their income to Aura and the features that are delivered by that. So today, I'm very pleased to announce that we're launching Aura in France, and it's available. We have a workshop at 3:20, I believe, in the workshop section, and we also have a desk that's right next door if you'd like to go play with Aura and learn more about it. Thank you very much.